Buck found a shoe outside.
What's up, let's intro the show, right? And then we'll talk about the boot.
Do we have to?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns. In this episode, we are revisiting a show that I previously hated with all my passion in life. But we kept getting comments that said, give it one more shot. Episode 5 really picks up. Reluctantly, I gave it one more shot. That being said, episode 5 definitely got better. I enjoyed watching episode 5 for the first time in this series. So like 1 through 4 was painful. It was painfully slow. But episode 5, I think, started to get pretty damn cool. So finally, I might be on board. I'm not saying I'm on board yet. We'll see how episode 6 goes, especially 6, 7, and 8, because you guys loved it. But let's say that just maybe we had a throwaway episode 1 through 4. 5 was pretty good. There was still a lot of holes, which we're going to talk about. But before we do, check this out. FNG Academy boot. Right in the knockers. That got Frank and beans, dude. This is the best military boot on the market, hands down, by far. Every other company, they spend weeks knocking out boots after boot after boot. They'll make one and then just on to the next. We spent over a year making one boot, making just this one, because we wanted the perfect boot for people going to SFAS or with a Q course or just doing really hard things. So glad I got that out of the way. I love this damn boot. This thing's amazing. Went rucking in it this morning.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm a little drunk.
Sometimes
in the next 30 seconds, 250 couples will need to...
Sometimes it is a little negative.
What is?
The just being in front of a camera, like,
yeah,
it feels a little too private. And sometimes I forget that this is going to go out onto the interwebs and be out there forever. And then,
I asked you this. Somehow you can envision all of our subscribers and viewers in this camera, but unless you're saying something we're not supposed to say, then somehow...
I guess the answer is no then, because I talk like I'm talking to them one-on-one, not them as a whole.
That's true.
That
yeah.
Other people can get in and see. I pick like one subscriber that's really cool, and I'm like, I'm talking to that guy.
By really cool, he means you're not going to cancel him for anything.
Yeah, it's like just a true homie, and I'm like, I'm talking to that guy. and then all of a sudden I'm watching it, and I'm like,
Here's the beautiful part about being the editor of the show is that they can make just massive monumental mistakes by even being on camera in the first place. They could just be hammered, and 3 weeks later I will be sitting down in the editing chair. Everyone's gone. It's just me in the show. My opinion, which is awesome.
Yeah, you really do can add a lot of flavor at the back end.
I get to shape the entire show if I want. I get to remove stuff. I get to add stuff.
Hit it.
Contact to Beret!
Hey. Talk to me. Riley, how you doing?
Seem better.
Had to hit the southern valve?
Fort Rucker, Alabama. Oh,
You leaking?
my back's busted.
Okay, look at me. You a War Eagle, Riley?
Fucking roll tide.
Okay.
All right, boss.
Hold tight.
Are you a War Eagle, Riley?
What does that mean?
War Tide? I don't know. Am I supposed to know?
I'm assuming there's an opposition to it, so it's Roll Tide or
All right,
War
I
Eagle.
do like this episode better, but this whole shooting scene starts out super cheese.
Comment down below if you guys know the difference between
Patrick
apparently
Schwarzenegger?
War Eagle and Roll Tide. I'm sorry?
Patrick Schwarzenegger? Is that a Schwarzenegger?
I imagine there can't be that many, right?
Right.
Is that his son?
Maybe? Did we just gloss over the fact that
I can't see from here.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's kid is in there?
Can you see his face?
Is it his illegitimate kid that came from his...
Isn't Chris Pratt like now married to Schwarzenegger's daughter?
He is! Oh, it all came together.
Ah, shit.
All right, guys, if you want to know what I'm wearing right now, I love my barbell apparel. We have the new pants they're coming out with. Speaking of tactical pants, James Reese could have been wearing these bad boys, and he probably would have killed way more dudes way faster, because their new tactical pants are awesome. I love these things. They're stretchy. I have been a huge fan of barbell. We'll link what we're wearing down in the description. So if you want some awesome gear, Green Beret approved, Go check out Barbell Apparel and go check out their new covert pants. And you could be like James Reese yourself.
That you can. You can drop it low, right? Around corners and stuff. You guys do that? You guys drop it low?
No, we do not drop it low.
You don't drop it low?
That's a Nicki Minaj, maybe?
You still could drop it low. I just meant like if you had a squat and then like, you know, do stuff. I thought that you could drop it low.
You know what? You're right. I miss Kurt.
What are you... Get back here.
No.
We're doing a barbell like thing right now. What is your problem? Just check out the pants, I guess. Well, I guess here we go with Termina List.
Sick.
We've been all around the block on this, but I think we got the...
I love that scene.
So
That
there's
seems
one
funny,
name
dude.
left.
He pulls out his list to look at the
You
one
have
name.
to keep the whole list.
Like, dude, I think you could memorize one name. We've already talked crap about the fact that list only had 5 people on it, but you've crossed out 4 of the 5. I think you could memorize one guy. It's just one guy.
It's symbolic.
That's the one guy left on the list that's drawn on the back of the picture that my daughter drew. It's super dramatic. It's like a white person telenovela, but, you know, I get it.
Shit. Mac's former Army. 3 deployments. She doesn't care too much for insincerity. Do you, Mac?
No, sir.
Well, I grew up in the shadow of Fort Bragg, Ms. Wilson. Most of my friends, my family all served. SAT scores set me down a different path, but I've always had a level of respect for the culture. My tattoos signify remembrance, admiration.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss something in the show? Or is this guy legitimately a little tab chasing hoe and
Civvy?
he's a complete civilian?
Yeah. You didn't
And
know.
he has military tattoos because he's an admirer, so he's a stolen valor guy?
I thought we knew that.
Maybe we did. It's
Like,
been so long.
If you pop quiz me, I would have been like, no, he's not. He was not military. I thought that was a point. But
yeah, I must have missed it. And then they described, he's like, no, my tattoos are admiration for the military. It's like, oh, that's stolen valor. You're so lame, dude. Which that's pretty funny that they made him just that douchey.
Interest in New Bellum is RD4895. Now, if you think my drug caused tumors in those seals, publish your story tonight. We can scuttle the whole deal.
It doesn't work that way. There's review, editors, not to mention time for Treasury, financial crimes enforcement.
How long?
This is a crucial piece. You did good. If you could stall the deal. Did you bring your phone?
I left it in the car, like you said.
This scene's so stupid. There's a few things that I have issues with this scene, and it's just minor stuff. But first, it's like, he's like, if you think this caused cancer in SEAL's brains and killed him, publish it tonight, and it'll offset this giant deal that's about to make this murderer a millionaire, even more millions of dollars, right? And she goes, it's not that easy. There's editing and like approval processes, and it's like, you're an accomplice to murder. I don't think you care about the editing process of a document that you're about to publish. Go home, write it on the internet, and publish it in literally a blog. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't have to be an official, front page news article. Like, I'm pretty sure you're already excommunicated from your publishing job anyway. You've like witnessed crimes and covered them up. You've witnessed murders and just walked away from it. Mm-hmm. Not only did you witness murders, you've like helped the guy that murdered the people. So like, I don't think that you really care about editing processes.
yeah.
If it's like a deadline, you could just get your ass to work, write up the article, and then publish it on any forum. You could just email it to other news articles and have them publish it that day.
Yeah.
Like, if there's breaking news, It's like views and clicks for YouTubers or something like that. Like, don't get it twisted. People will work throughout the night if there's a deadline, if it's going to make them money.
Yeah.
So that was stupid. And then she sees this guy being followed, and she's like, did you bring your phone? And this guy's like, I left it in my car like you told me. And she's just like, I meant the office, run. And it's like, if you meant the office, why didn't you say the office?
So you weren't specific about the one thing that would get you guys both shot.
Right.
That's
come on.
That's what you meant?
It was just dumb. All right, this is the kind of this is probably the last one where I'm really going to pick on it, and then it starts to get better. So we're essentially halfway through episode 5, and then it starts to get better for me. But
good shot.
He assassinates the dude in the middle of a staircase.
Yeah.
So that's murder 1 in this short span. Nobody hears the gunshots. Nobody's in the staircase. Nobody comes looking. Nobody's curious. It's just like, it's fine. It's almost like they murder somebody and then they just, like a video game, they just disappear from the game and everything's cool. So he murders the dude, and it's like a snapshot. It comes out of nowhere, gets him right in the dome piece. And then he's clearing up the stairs against this female who has no experience whatsoever. She's a war correspondent. She's not a shooter at all. I'm pretty sure James Reese gave her that gun. And he doesn't check the stairs enough to see a human laying there pointing a gun at him. And she shoots him. It's like, aren't you a trained assassin? Aren't you like some tactical genius and wouldn't let that happen?
You'd assume. Yeah.
I guess the only saving grace for this scene is if he's so confident that she's just going to run away.
Right.
That he overcommits and drops his tactics, not thinking that she would ever stand in place and actually fight back.
I don't see that being the case, right? Obviously, you're on high alert. You're going up a staircase, or
I'm looking
or down. You're trying to find people.
Yeah, I'm gonna be able to see your feet sitting there at the top of the staircase. And even if I'm being quick and I'm looking and I'm being quick and I have my pistol close by, I'm not even full extended because I'm trying to move fast. As soon as I see some feet, a leg, a knee, anything of a human body, I'm slowing way down, and now I'm punching out and I'm taking my time, and you're not going to just get a shot off of me like that.
So unlikely.
Very unlikely. Yeah. Very unlikely, and then it just makes him look like a total amateur. But then 2 seconds ago, you're supposed to believe that he's like a sniper-trained assassin that just lit off a beautiful pistol shot and domed that guy like it was nothing.
James?
Gotta move. Move. Come on.
Cool scene. I think Chris nailed it. Like, cool tactics. Shot the guy. Got her out of there. Everything's cool about that. But once again, a bus just drove by. The bus is still right there on the street.
Full of people, yeah.
Full of people. And you just murdered number 3 within the last 30 seconds, and still not one person looks around, not one person screams. Everyone's just perfectly unaware of all the murder that's going on around them. They're just going about their way. And then right here, you have the guy's tactical vehicle on the street. That's one of his tactical vehicles, one of those goofy ass like Jeep looking things.
Yeah, I saw him.
So like, where's that guy? Those guys are supposed to be like all special operations. He just parked that shit and was like, bye.
That shit.
Hope I don't get a parking ticket.
No.
See that never. And he ain't worried about gunshots going off. Yeah. He doesn't come running out. Like nobody cares. You have like tour buses. It looks like they parked like Chris Pratt's actually like tour bus system coming up. There's 2 white tour buses.
Bro.
Huh?
It is a tour bus.
Look at those buses.
I know.
It looked like him, Arnold Schwarzenegger's illegitimate son, his wife, and his whole Schwarzenegger family showed up to film this scene and parked in the scene. And nobody is walking, even though there's 1 million cars parked on this. Every single spot
gone,
is full.
Man.
Everybody's
they're not
gone.
here to witness the shootings.
They're all there.
They're not here.
And gone at the same time.
Yes,
Explain
sir.
that.
Yes.
Everything else spread out. Multiple shops, multiple towns. Pay with cash, obviously. Should be plenty left over for Marco.
We're really gonna build a bomb?
We're gonna build a fucking EFP.
Hey, let's just slow down for a second, okay? Take some time to process what's going on exactly.
I don't have time.
Okay, but let's get Ben up here then. Let's get Ben up here so we can think this through.
I came for you in the job. Okay?
This is where the show gets a lot better for me. This is where I start to enjoy the show. Like, I really enjoy the conspiracy theories that are starting to build. I'm stoked about the scene about him putting together the EFPs. What is it? It's something form projectile. So the whole thing about an EFP is it's targeted. It's targeting an explosive. So explosive form projectile, I think, is what it stands for. So in Afghanistan, they were super dangerous because instead of just having an explosion that like just kicks out everywhere, almost like a claymore that's like directional fan is like this big, you're now directing that explosion into a small area. And then a lot of what they did in Afghanistan to cut through our armor was use copper. So they'll take copper and they'll hone it, and then they'll make something that caps it. So then the copper, when it explodes, it essentially melts, and then that cap forms the copper into like a shape charge. And that shape charge punches right through all our armor like butter. It is terrifying. And I'll never forget going to Afghanistan and getting the brief, and they sat us down, an explosive expert sat us down and was like, hey guys, EFPs, crazy, and they're so bad. They're like, I feel bad even briefing you guys about this because there's almost nothing you could do about it, but I just want you to know that they're out there, and the Taliban are getting really smart, and they're angling all the EFPs to hit gunners. So they'll angle them up to just cut through gunner hatches, knowing that they could take out the gunner. But they're just essentially just forming hot copper to just cut through all our armor like butter. And this shit's terrifying because chance of survival is next to nothing. So that was really cool. I also like that they didn't like perfectly spell it out for you.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to be building this formation projectile that is going to cut through like butter. He's just like, hey, we're going to get EFPs. I need you to collect this shit from everywhere so it doesn't get picked up as, hey, these guys are building bombs.
Yeah.
Pay cash, go everywhere to get it. So provides a backstory as like, if anybody asks why you need any of the science equipment, your kid is in science, he loves it, and he just wants this equipment, so it seems normal. So they don't call and start tipping you off to the FBI and get you caught, right?
Yeah.
So finally, I'm starting at 37 minutes in episode 5
to like Termina List.
I'm starting to like Termina List. I'm starting to get in it, and now all of a sudden I'm watching it, going, "Oh, where's this gonna go? This is pretty cool." Hell yeah.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Can you get it done?
Cool. It almost hit us again with that Jiffy Lube commercial.
Some random peanut butter.
That shot is sick, right?
Yeah.
That looks so good.
I think 6. But blue-gray.
Do you have an issue with that blue-gray? It doesn't bother me. It looks dope.
It bothers me. Yeah.
And then the yellow, blue-yellow. That scene's so dope. That's what I was hoping all this show would be about. That's fucking sick right there. I love it. The prep, the making the EFP. He's like forming the copper. They're setting up the laser to see like where it's gonna impact from inside the vehicle. How they have to set up the the EFP trajectory to go into the next vehicle, the planning of it all, the pulling things off the wall. That's that kind of like CIA operative type cool guy stuff that I was hoping for when we started this show.
Yeah.
And somehow we got lost in 4 episodes of character development. Like, dude, remember that guy
they're developed.
Remember that guy from, like, did we need all that? Couldn't we have just gotten here? The whole movie is like best just going after the big boss.
Right.
Like, this is awesome.
Very scary shot.
Right! Move!
Oh! Got him.
Is that a thing?
Dude, that was so
Is
sick.
that possible? You can do that from across the street?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the EFP. It's a essentially a trajectory that you built, so it just shoots like a bullet.
That's crazy.
The crazy thing about it is it's hot metal melting, so it's like melting through things as it goes. Dude, that is sick. And when she turns and looks at him and sees James Reese and they make eye contact like that through the window, that was so dope.
Yeah, no, it was
Dude,
a
it was
dead
so
stare, man.
creepy, dead stare. And and then she did it perfectly. She just backed up like, oh shit. Dude, that was badass.
Please stop. Please.
Sick. All right, pause.
Okay, well, clearly nobody saw that, but
Yeah, so lots of positives in this. One huge not going to happen. So one of the massive things that's like, okay, first of all, that explosion happened. You got to, all right, let's go back to the fact that FBI is already there. So anytime an FBI is going to operate in a city environment, they're going to get local law enforcement involved most of the time, right? Because you don't want to operate without letting local law enforcement aware that you're operating. They always do that. So you have an area, right? And your area as a patrol cop is here. If FBI is going to be there with badge and gun doing an operation, they need to let you know so they don't get shot in crossfire and you don't get involved and mess up their operation.
yeah.
So typically what will happen is FBI will call and be, hey, we got an operation going on. We don't have to tell you the details, but just let you guys know we're going to be operating in your area at this time, location, whatever. So dispatch will take that information and they'll put it in the queue. So that way everyone in that area or all law enforcement can see, but especially everyone in their area will stay in that queue. So then we can click on it and say, hey, FBI's got an operation going on at this area.
Yeah.
So either it'll have follow-on instructions, either stay away from that area, check, roger that, or hang by, and then we could be like, okay, be in the area in case they need us.
Right.
So if the fact that the FBI is already there, multiple local law enforcement would already be there hanging by, or at least aware, close by, ready. So if anything goes off, like a giant explosion, they can come in and help the FBI and be there to, deal with the area, because nobody knows that area better than the local PD.
Yeah.
So the fact that law enforcement wouldn't be there immediately is insane. So by the time James would be pulling out his rifle after the explosion, he would be completely swarmed with law enforcement.
Yeah.
And on top of that, by the time you call out an explosion and code 10 cover, you're having hundreds of cops on your location within 1 minute.
Yeah.
A city like Denver, literally, like we had an officer get shot, and every single one of us was balls to the wall to that location. Within a minute, we were completely surrounding the suspect, and we were everywhere in the area.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have that much time. One thing that I'll say very positive about Chris Pratt and his shooting skills here, he held the rifle exactly like I would have. His C-clamp was so comfortable and fluid. You could tell that he put a lot of time in with the rifle. I get a little less time that I feel like he put in with his pistol. And a reason for that is when he presents, he's doing the shoulder crunch. It's like the turtle position. Oh. And when you're comfortable with a pistol, you do everything like he's doing, but you don't do it fully extended like that because you start to lose your shots and you get so tense that you have trouble doing follow-on shots. So you can see kind of an inexperienced pistol shooter is they'll start to do this shoulder roll. So your shoulders will go from here to here, and it's a subtle movement, but they go from like in a relaxed position to punched forward. And I call it a turtle because you get that rolling of the back. Yeah. And anytime, it may sound petty to you guys, but when you see it as an experienced shooter, you know instantly it's inexperience. Yeah. And so if I watched you and you're on the range, shoulders rolled forward, your back is arching, once you get in that, you have trouble walking fluidly. Yeah. I'll just look at you and be like, he needs to practice. He needs to work on that. And that's where he is with his pistol. But Chris was clearly a lot more comfortable with his rifle. Yeah. His C-clamp is calm, it's cool, it's collected, it's pulled back into his pocket. He's shooting at the cadence that I would shoot, which is just whop, 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 2 to 3 round bursts, because you could be well aimed. I would have had another nitpick is he's got the 3x optic up on his red dot. Yeah. So anytime you're doing an optic, you're going to have eye relief. So you have to kind of be in the right position, right? But if you just remove that optic, you don't have an eye relief. So anytime you could see your dot from any which way, it's good. You could pull the trigger. So anytime you add a magnification, you're going to have an eye relief that you have to kind of chase around. If you think about it, kind of like sucking a dick. Because that's what it looks like I'm doing.
One way to look at it. All right.
So anyway, I would just drop that 3x optic so you didn't have that eye relief. But that's nitpicky stuff.
There you go.
This was a really badass scene. I enjoyed watching it. And I just felt like finally Termina List came alive. And all the people that have a lot of skill on this show, that did this show, finally could show themselves. All right, guys. So hope you enjoyed that episode. Let us know what you think. Does it get better? Even better on 6, 7, and 8? Because I'm going to be honest with you, it's the first time I'm actually kind of looking forward to watching an episode of Termina List.
Are we doing more episodes?
I think I want to see 6. Whether we do it or not, I want to watch episode 6 because I was impressed by this one. That one got pretty good. But guys, make sure you go check out the FNG Academy boot. By the time this airs, the pre-sales will probably be live, so you could go score yourself a pair, and then we will ship them to you. And obviously they're going to be discounted for these pre-sales because we want to know you guys' feedback on them so we can make any changes that you guys see. So if you support the channel, you could also donate a pair. So if you just hit the donate drop down and then buy a pair, we will donate them to a soldier so they could have the best boots possible for selection. Because I promise you guys, these are the best AR-670 boot on the market, hands down, no question. No damn question. Made by Special Operations for future Special Operations. Thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
What's up, everybody? Kurt from the FNG Academy here. If you have any interest in becoming a Green Beret or joining Special Operations, I want to invite you to check us out at our Patreon. We've currently got over 100 videos in the catalog there. We post new videos weekly. We do a monthly giveaway as well. Come over and check us out. We have a few different tiers, everything from just supporting the channel to our FNG Extras tier, which will get you access to our weekly videos, and then all the way up to a mentorship tier, which will get you bi-weekly calls with one of our Green Beret mentors that will help you get mentally prepared and mentally ready to go to selection and succeed. So make sure you check us out at our team room. That is patreon.com/FNG Academy. We can't wait to see you there.